Hey y'all, Taname came in and today I'm going to be reviewing episode 78 of Gegege no Kitarou. And I gotta say, if y'all haven't seen the episode yet, I recommend y'all to pause the video and see the episode first, because my goodness, this episode, even though yes, during the live reaction I was able to predict certain things about this episode to a T, I wasn't able to predict the finer details regarding certain things, and that's what I really loved about this episode. It was good enough to, even though some things I could see a mile coming away, there were other things that took me by surprise, and let me detail what those were now. Going in, I didn't expect this episode was going to be a gut punch, because the premise of this episode is essentially this girl called Mizuya, who pretty much gets possessed by this yoga called Moroyo, because her feelings were so strong for this man that she was in love with when she died by drowning. It broke a seal and the yokai possessed her body, and then it started stalking her boyfriend, because her boyfriend Kuno, which this is actually revealed in the latter half, it's revealed that he pretty much killed her, even though they were having an argument near the river and he was taking photos trying to get some kind of motivation. Parts ways in, he gets angry, slaps her, she falls in the water, and instead of saving her life, he pretty much just takes photos of her until she dies. And that's where that sick fucker Kuno gets his more motivation to be a photographer, because he was under a slump. And when I saw that, I was just like, damn. And they reveal it towards the end. And even though I was kind of able to predict that happening, because during the episode it's like, alright, you have the first part start out with dark vibes with Kuno taking photos, and then you have a yokai falling around this man. Usually in Gegege no Kitarou, whenever a yokai is falling around someone, it's usually because the person they're falling around did something wrong. 9 times out of 10, it's because that person did something wrong. And in this episode, what do you know? It was pretty much that. Although in this instance, though, even though Kuno was the one that did something wrong, it was essentially the yokai that took advantage of the feelings that Mizuya had for the man she loved, and he pretty much possessed her body. So I kind of like that factor, because it gave this episode a nice romantic edge to it, which gives the series a lot of flair and nice flavoring. And let me explain why. Because parts ways in, you find out flashbacks that when you did see Kuno interact with Mizuya in the flashbacks when they first met, they hit it off pretty well. They were happy for the most part, until that fateful day where that motherfucker Kuno felt like things weren't going well and he accidentally slaps her. And then when he has the opportunity to save her life, he instead takes photos to try to get his career in order, and he becomes obsessed with taking pictures of things that are in the border between life and death. And that's where things get real sickening. And when they actually did reveal that, even though I was kind of able to predict that, he was the one that caused Mizuya to die, it was still intense, because it's like the episode did enough of showing you how sweet of a girl Mizuya was. It made you feel sorry for her, and it made you hate that Kuno individual more. But then as the episode progressed, I actually liked how it threw a curveball at me, because parts ways in, when Moroyo is trying to attack and take down Kuno, he actually part ways in gets distracted. The Moroyo yokai gets distracted by Mizuya, because she still has intense feelings of love for Kuno, even from the dead, and that gives Kitarou enough time to knock down the Moroyo yokai and then the situation's dispatched. And then what I really love about Toei was, after that instance of him being saved, you see him completely mind-fucked with a face as if he completely regrets not saving Mizuya's life. And then when the episode ends off with the twist ending of him actually, and this one, the twist ending is like something that I did not see coming, because afterwards he reveals that he's the one who pretty much caused the death of Mizuya. And then when it ends off with him getting arrested, I was just like, damn, that was a masterful job from Toei, because at that point, when they had the flashback of Mizuya mentioning that her dream was for Kuno to succeed in the photography career, and then when it ends off his career pretty much breaking, it's like, okay, Toei, I gotta tip my invisible hats to you, because I didn't think you were gonna make me care about Kuno, at least to a tiny extent, at the end of the episode, but they did. So that's why I thought the writing was masterful, because it built you up to kind of dislike Kuno, but then near the end you sort of feel some sympathy for him, not a shitload, because Mizuya died, but still though, that's an impressive feat. And another impressive feat from the story standpoint was, even though it showed you that, it told you straight up that Mizuya is dead from the get-go, it makes you feel for her, and it makes you feel sympathy for her, and it makes the ending of the episode even sadder. So that's why I felt this episode was really amazing from the story standpoint. And I'd say really my only nitpick was when Kitarou was grabbed by Moroyo, he didn't use his internal electricity. Now, I feel like Toei, when it comes to the internal electricity, they should, whenever Kitarou is grabbed, just have Kitarou use the internal electricity and have it not work against a specific yokai. At the very least, that way they'll cover their bases, and it'll keep audience members like me wondering, why ain't Kitarou using that dang internal electricity, you know? But that's like the only nitpick though. Everything else in this episode was amazing from a script standpoint. But I had to mention that there because I can't just ignore stuff like that, you know? But other than that though, everything else was done perfectly. From a character standpoint, this episode was great because you gave a lot of characterization for Mizuya. You find out she's a sweet and caring woman, and she gained a lot of happiness when she was in a romantic relationship with Kuno. And her love was so powerful that it transcended death temporarily so that she can save the life of Kuno. So I like that. The episode did a good job in giving her a lot of characterization, just a small amount of screen time. And then for Kuno, you got a good amount of characterization for him. You find out that he's a sociopath because there was an instance where some of his coworkers were being attacked, but he was just taking pictures to try to take advantage of the situation. And then with the way he reacted to the death of his girlfriend originally, he didn't really care that much. But then afterwards, I like how they gave him character development, because when he finds out that his former girlfriend cared about him to the point that she would help him out from the dead, I did like that. His character change, it felt natural, and then him turning himself in also felt natural. So I like how they introduced a character like Kuno, and they gave him depth and development all in the span of a single episode. So that's why I felt this episode also did great from a character standpoint. And the animation art was beautiful, I gotta say. Our work was nice and detailed, especially when Kitarou was serious. He was really expressive. Kachik was pretty expressive too. And the voice performances and soundtrack were great. And that's why, without hesitation, I'm going to rate this episode a 9 out of 10. I thought it was near perfection, and it was just beautifully crafted. And I gotta say, Toei gave us another masterful work. So anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on Gegege no Kitarou episode 78. Be sure to comment down your thoughts on the episode in the comment section below. Rate the video, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys later if you come back for more. Alright, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great safe day. Bye-bye.